What's going on, guys? Death here. I just want to do a little vlog kind of thing of EVO, how it went, everything like that. I had already kind of done this, but your phone does not allow you to upload videos at past a certain point, and it was starting to get ridiculous on trying to get it off my phone. I don't know what was going on. I really don't. But anyways, EVO. Man, ridiculous. I'm really glad I went. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. A lot of thoughts. So I went by myself. I didn't see anybody that I knew or anything like that. I saw a bunch of the high level players and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really run out and greet people. I did see some people recognize me in DOA, such as Perfect Legend, Master, all that, so I got to talk, kind of catch up with them a little bit. But for the most part, I was just kind of doing my thing, watching everybody, absorbing everything. The first day, the day before the tournament began, I just spent like 7 hours exploring. I was connected to 3 hotels. I was staying in Mandalay Bay, so that was cool and everything. But basically, well, so I'll just go over the bad crap real fast because there's not a whole lot. It was because there's just so much awesome stuff going on. People do not look like they do in the streams and everything. Some people are like really tall, some people are really short, and you can't tell because people are so hunched over when they play. The posture and everything, you kind of notice if I got like a real straight posture, and you know, I'm really active and everything. And a lot of people, they kind of were the stereotype a little bit, but I mean, people are going to be who they're going to be, right? So it is what it is. I just thought it was really interesting because I was paying very close attention to how people were, what kind of groups they were in, and things like, I don't know, I was studying people an awful lot. And I think I might have weirded people out a little bit. People were kind of uncomfortable talking to me. Not because I creeped them out, but there was something like, because I'm like really focused, and I don't know, when I'm sociable, I mean, I'm in it. I am very focused on whatever I'm doing. If it's talking to you, man, it's talking to you. People are on their cell phones so much that it's almost like they couldn't give you the time of day, which really rubbed me the wrong way, because I want to give that attention kind of thing. And I mean, it was everywhere. People were like using it as a shield when they didn't want to talk to people, you know, doing the headphones thing. I had a girl actually move 4 rows in front of me because she was I don't know, uncomfortable when they were both cosplaying or whatever. It was Siren, Infinity Siren, the Forever King's girlfriend or whatever's friend or sister, I don't know what it was. But that girl moved quick as hell. I was just making a comment because I thought it was cute that, you know, Infinity was dressed as Starfire and was playing Starfire. So yeah, anyways, it did happen a lot of times, like people be kind of weird, like, why do you care that a guy wouldn't play games that they did? But I'm like, oh cool, man, I want to know about it. I want to know about, I love fighting games. I'll talk fighting games all day. I don't care if I don't know the game. So between my intensity and all that, I'm not sure if I came off the wrong way or not, so I'll try to work on that. I don't know, man. It's weird to me, but it is what it is. So that was really all the bad stuff about that. Going by myself, it was weird. I did make a friend on the last day. Basically, at the end of the, man, the top 8s were so crazy. I'm so glad I got to stay the whole thing. Big shout outs to Feeney, who was with me after the Guilty Gear top 8s, going into Super Smash and Tekken and Dragon Ball Fighter Z and Street Fighter 5. I mean, oh my goodness. All 5 of those were done that day. All the other top 8s were done the previous day. I didn't get to see the Injustice. Let's go to the beginning, right? So the first day was tournament day. I played all the tournaments, all 3. So Injustice 2 was first at 10 a.m. Street Fighter 5 was at 2 p.m. and Dead or Alive 5 Last Round was at 4 p.m. So instantly, I got there like 7, got in about 8. The line was humongous, and wow, no casual stations at all. I mean, these people were going in dry and just cold, and I couldn't find a casual station anywhere. There were tons and tons of booths, but they're like Hori Stick related, to try out their products or different games. They weren't like there's Soul Calibur 6, Dead or Alive 6. I did play a little bit of Dead or Alive 5 just to have some kind of. I did find a casual station in between, but before Injustice, it was super cold. It was the worst play I've ever done with Canary to warm up. I mean, it was bad because this tournament nerves on top of just so cold, dropping everything. It looked like I didn't know how to play her. The first game, the first like match and a quarter, I would say my Canary looked really weak. I got really lucky against my first opponent, Jam Piece. I made a comeback in the last set. We were 2-2, and he was using Green Arrow, and I was just super patient, and I like kind of got my focus in a little better. I mean, we were trading back and forth, and I made almost a full life bar comeback, and we were down to the last hit, and I think I like back 3 because I knew he was going to jump over, and Canary's back 3 hits up high, but it's really deceiving because of how low she crouches in case he tried to fire like a standing arrow, and it worked. So he was like, come on man, and I got it. It was nuts. So after that, I played against I don't know what his first character was, but he used Joker after that, and it was really fun. I played much more patient, started to warm up with Canary, get some more combos. I was feeling really good about myself. I got him 3-1 on that. So 3-2 Jam Piece, 3-1 against the Joker player. And then I played against Sound Like Pause. That guy 3-0'd me hardcore fast. I didn't want to switch characters. Because I was so shaky on being warm with Canary, and Harley has a different tempo with her combos, and you'll see when I'm playing on stream, I'll drop stuff because I hadn't warmed up with her yet, and I was like, man, I'm having such a hard time, maybe I can work it. Sound Like Pause did not give me a chance. He kept me out the whole time. He played really patient. I couldn't get my screen cancels to work to dash in and stuff. I was getting really frustrated about that. I was using the new controller, which I think was one of the reasons that I'm getting drops, because I didn't wear it in. It's not worn in, and you know pads are really bad for that, but it's an excuse. I lost fair and square. I've really been working on that pad, especially today and yesterday. But anyways, I played with the new pad in every single tournament event, and now I wish I hadn't, because I did bring the other one, and I could feel it. But anyways, going on, so I got beat by Sound Like Pause 3-0. Then I played another guy. He was a Black Adam main, but he was counter-picking. So he picked Admin Cold. He got me 2-0 super fast. But I thought about it. I'm like, man, I have played Strikers and a bunch of other Captain Colds that are way stronger than him. I can't let it go down like this. So I thought about it. I went in with Canary. I went all in. And I 2-0'd him so fast. Every single game almost, it's almost like I took a whole round to like remember how to play again. I'd be down a whole life bar, and then like that, Canary's come back. I mean, she just made it happen. My mix-ups were actually pretty solid against everyone but Sound Like Pause. And then he switched off of Captain Cold to Supergirl, And I knew his Supergirl wasn't going to be that strong, but here's where I made a mistake. I was going off the hot streak from the 2-0, like super, super fast. Then I started with patient at first, and then I'm like, I'm just going to make this super hard read, because if I hit, I knew I was just going to take that momentum all the way. And he was super patient. He did a really good job. I forget what his name was for this tag, but I'll show it up on the screen or whatever. But he got me with Supergirl. He definitely outplayed me. He had a bar and a half of life to my half a bar. I barely took his first bar, and he took me out. Man, it was... I knew what I had done. It's cool. Learning experience, man. I had fun with Injustice. I did better than I thought I was going to do with just Canary only. So, definitely got a new mindset going into the next one I do. But, a lot of fun. And it was the first tournament cold, so I was like, okay, I'll do better next one. So, Street Fighter went in. Didn't have any expectations. Excuse me, man. I'm really getting that yawn action in. Just trying to get back to normal here. So, Street Fighter, I went in, my first 2 matches, disqualifications. Again, the opponents didn't show up. Tio was even making jokes about, hey, you're just scaring your opponents off with your edgy name and everything. People did seem to like the name. They're like, whoa, Deathlock Stallone, it's freaking sweet, man. So, I do like that. My first real opponent, he was kind of warm. He'd already played at least one more person, and it felt like it could have beaten him. I mean, he almost perfected me twice the first game. I was playing so bad, trying to warm up, get my mindset on Colleen. And then the second game, it was a completely different story. It's like I blew him away. Colleen was in the action. I won the game. So that's awesome, because I have barely won any even like match rounds with Street Fighter. Huge, huge deal. Then he came and beat me pretty convincingly, saw what I was doing. I still wasn't warmed up, and he beat me pretty easily. So the next player that I faced was also a Colleen main, and he did different kinds of setups. I really liked how he played. It was a fun back and forth. I started to remember some stuff. We were like back and forth. Man, it was so much fun. He definitely beat me though. Props to you, man. Again, I'll show the names on the screen. You'll kind of see like the bracket waves and stuff, but mad props to that. I thought it was really cool. I had fun. Street Fighter was the only game I got to catch any casuals in, and that was the end of the first and second night. It was just so hard to find anything, and I was very frustrated about that. So, I had brought my console around for 2 days. By the way, that's a really bad idea. That thing is so heavy that I don't care how fit you are, and I have the camping backpack with the little belt strap too, so I know I stood out like really bad with the camo, but it was definitely, the camping backpack helped, but yeah, my shoulders were dying, so, oh, excuse me, Jesus, man. So, I definitely, at least I got some time. Nobody had actually, at the end of the first night, really helped me try to understand some stuff with Street Fighter. He was a really awesome lore player. I hope he did well in pools. I'll definitely be checking later today to see where he went, because I was helping him prep, because he had pools the next day, man. So, I mean, I put my console down on an empty station when finally the tournament started going. I mean, this is like near the end too. It was like 8, 9 o'clock, and within, I don't know, 15 minutes, we had 9 people waiting in line on my console. I was like, oh geez, I'm never gonna get to eat. I was as careful as possible, because like a water bottle was like $5 to $7, a sandwich was $5 to $7 to $10. Everything was crazy expensive. Coffee was like $10 every time I got a coffee. No energy drinks. I did manage that goal. I was super proud. I went 24 hours without sleep on the last day. On accident. I had taken a nap. We'll get to that in a second, so I'll get back to that. So after Street Fighter, I got knocked out. I got to play some casuals with DOA, get warmed up. I'm like, alright, I bodied everybody I played. Like, there was no anyone giving me a challenge, so I was a little bummed about that. I was looking for good players, and it just didn't happen. It's, you know, different kinds of people testing out DOA. One Hanukkah player started to do well against my jam, but then the next time I convincingly just decimated him, and then he didn't want to play me. So I was like, ah, crap, man, this happens just like in freaking online. So when I played in a tournament, 3 disqualifications on people who didn't show up. Perfect Legend, me and him played against each other. He knew who I was right away, so that was pretty cool. It was good to see him again and talk. Man, he had my Jan pegged from the moment I started playing. I should have switched, but I started to get some momentum back. I actually, my DOA matches were all, excuse me, most of them were on stream. There was one off stream, and I bodied that kid. He's using a Tomy, and he had good staggers and pressure and everything, but he was so not confident that I could basically do what I wanted with my Jan Lee, and I 2-0'd him super fast off stream. Wish you guys had seen that, because then he would have been like, oh, okay, he can learn. He does know Jan Lee, whatever. But then I played against Perfect Legend again, and I switched to Li Fang in the second match, and I started to forget. I remember her mix-ups for the first round, and then my brain went just totally blank. It's why I don't like to play Li Fang yet, because I do get blank sometimes with her and Hayabusa. I don't know why I have that problem with certain characters, like Helena, Brad Wong, Tina. Certain characters I just never forget. I love them, so I'll play them. But other characters, it's like their patterns for some weird reason, because I'm trying to think so hard about their tool set or something, I go blank and it's bad. So, Perfect Legend had even, oh my gosh, had even said, and that's why I was laughing for him when I went to go pick her. He was like, man, I hate Li Fang. I was talking with him and Master, and he had said something about it, so I was laughing. That's why I decided to go Li Fang, because he's like, yeah, man, I do want the challenge. Do it. So I thought it was fun at least, so we could kind of get in there and do that, because she's tricky, man. It's hard to see where normals are at. It's hard to react. She's got a lot of stuff that can stance switch and then reverse your mid punches and then put her right back in. She's nasty. She really is. She's a very good character. So, yeah, tough. But I didn't place as well as I wanted to with DOA, even though I technically got 4 wins, the most out of the tournament. Woo! But I wanted to play opponents, man. That was the whole. I didn't want any DQs. I would have taken L's all day. I just want the experience. So maybe for next time. It is what it is, man. So I got the casuals at the end of that night with nobody, and boom, went to sleep. Super good sleep. Got into the next day. I had signed up for the DOA 6 tournament, which ended up being single limb. I didn't know that. I was kind of bummed. So I was repping that Jan. He got decimated by a rig player, Jaeger, and then I switched to Elena, just doing really well. And then she has different moves in DOA 6. They're like moved around, and I hadn't fully remembered. I kept like second guessing, is this move here and that, and then his pressure at the end, it definitely let me know I have to learn the DOA 5 characters. I can't come in with old school knowledge and expect it to carry me forever. Sorry about that. Somebody at the door. So, I have to lab the DOA 5 characters. I gotta get stronger in all these games. I saw potential. There were a lot of things that made me realize I can definitely compete if I put the time in. There were several days, even before going, that I didn't play. Just straight up, I didn't play. So, I've already been hitting my PlayStation pretty hard. I bought Guilty Gear. We'll get into that in a second too. So the second day, after the DOA tournament and everything, I watched the Injustice, some of the matches, but I was getting really tired, and I was like, you know what, I'm a little frustrated. I tried Soul Calibur, and I tried a bunch of SNK heroines, and what games I could. Some of the lines were ridiculous, like Smash Ultimate. I was like, I'll wait, whatever. So I was like, you know what, I'm by myself, I can do whatever I want. So I'm gonna go take a nap and maybe try to get more into the nightlife part of it this time, because I went to bed at like 10 p.m. I was straight arrowing it. So I was like, all right, this time maybe I'll get in the nightlife, get a little casino action going. Well, that didn't quite happen. So I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I saw on Twitter real fast, because I was scrolling because people were putting out updates, so I was finding stuff out about like events going on. The DOA top 8 was going on, so I rushed downstairs and ended up watching that. Freaking awesome, man. Excalibur Blades' movement is phenomenal. His execution and his ability to play it, that many characters, is phenomenal. He really is. I had to give him props. So illogical and bloody hell, what's the other guy's name? The other Japanese player. I can't remember right now. I mean, everybody was playing just phenomenal. Phenomenal. But Recruito, I was rooting for him. He definitely took it. Old school players, thank you for keeping that crown, man. It's what I wanted. So, after that happened, I'm like, man, I am so hungry for games. It was so hard to find it. I was looking for people, and people were kind of, like I said, man, people were a little weird. I didn't get it. So I wasn't aggressive because I really didn't want to make people uncomfortable. I was already going through that kind of vibe, you know. So I'm like, man, what am I supposed to do? So I would like kind of wait around and try to, in the most indirect way possible, be available to like play games kind of thing. I didn't know how else to do it. So, and I guess direct is really the only approach to go, and just if they blow you off or say no, screw it. Who cares? So I did end up waiting at another station that I had seen was open near the end of the tournaments. I had watched the Smash 4 top 8. That was super dope. And I was sitting by a Street Fighter console because I was like, man, please give me a game. Couldn't find Injustice 2 stuff anywhere. I did, but I'll tell you that in a second. So, played a little more Street Fighter action for like 10 minutes with the guy, and then they started taking the screens away. So I was like, oh crap. But a little bit earlier then for Injustice, so I signed up for some sweepstakes in Chicago or whatever, and I was playing some guy, and he gave me a broken controller, so the R1 and R2 buttons wouldn't work, right? So I'm playing, can't meter burn anything. I buy this guy really bad because, dude, he doesn't play the game. But a Canary main showed up, and so we were able to switch my controls to my L2 being my meter burn and stuff, but my brain didn't want to deal with it. So I was playing him, and I bought him the first game anyway, even with all the frustration and the missing inputs. And he did beat me the second game. I was a little bummed out because, dude, my Canary couldn't perform. I was playing bad, but give him the win. He beat me, so I have to deal with that regardless. And it was still just fun just to get anything, man. I just wanted to play people, and because of the way, that's really my only serious beef with the casual. There's just such a lack of casuals. No stations really. Couldn't really cycle people. No extra stations just for people to bring down their consoles or anything. So, a little bummed out about that. So day three we get into the top 8. So bright and early, I got in. I didn't know what games were coming in when. Guilty Gear. Holy crap. The more I watched it, I would, when you first watch a game, you don't really understand what's going on. But if you watch high-level players, watch their patterns, their techniques, what they're doing, their thought process, by the end of the Guilty Gear top 8, I understood a lot more of what was going on, and I instantly won the game. There was so much awesome tech. There were so many cool ideas that the characters were doing. They're also very unique. I want to be a part of it. Straight up. Even just to try to re-enter myself into the anime fighter genre because I love BlazBlue. I played the crap out of BlazBlue like 6 years ago. I knew almost every character and I was learning tons of mad combos and I was starting to understand how it worked, and then I just quit like I do every game for some weird reason. I'll just be like, drop it, and then boom, I gotta remember. It's difficult. So I was like, you know what, I never played Guilty Gear. Please, 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 let's do it. Let's do it. So I did buy it and I did play last night, and I was watching story mode and stuff and just trying to get a feel. Eno and Jack O, definitely looking at those two because they're very unique. I'd always wanted to play Eno. I had always tried Guilty Gear before, but I didn't want to put any effort in. I'm being honest, I did not. And I didn't like unique things back then. I wanted everything to be really standard. So like Eno's dash would go at it goes at an upward angle, and you can change it to make it go higher or whatever. I didn't like it the first time. Now I do, and I want to see if I can really understand her tool set and do unique things with her, because I did not see a single Eno in top 8. The top 8 characters were cool, but yeah, we'll just say I was very more curious to try my own little twist on it, so to speak. And there's so much to the game, so much to learn. The training is phenomenal on it. But instead of me rambling about that, so from there, the next top 8, Smash, had to be the most hype of all of EVO, I would say. Like Hungrybox, Armada, Leffen, I mean, even some of those other guys, they were just bringing it. It was so cool to see. Dude, I played Smash for years and years, but it was just the first one. But I knew what was going on well more than enough. I saw why they didn't use certain patterns that I would use, which made me know that some of my patterns were very noob-like and very ineffective in the new game. But either way, really, really cool just to see everything, the way it was piecing together. I love the action, man. I mean, it was crazy, the upsets and Leffen winning. That was freaking awesome. I just learned about all the Smash players, like a lot of the top guys, watching esports videos and EVO, old school stuff. I've been trying to learn as many people as possible, basically. So then it was Tekken, and Tekken was insane. Wow. One of the most basic looking characters, Shaheem, ended up winning with high-low. And I had ignored that character when I had tried playing Tekken 7, because I was just kind of messing around with the characters. I'm like, well, how they feel? And I think it's funny because that same basic character ended up winning over Dragunov. I think it was, no, it wasn't JDCR. JDCR ended up losing because I was rooting for him. I knew him from past playing Tekken and stuff like that. So, wow. I mean, they were just all bringing it. Everybody was getting crazy. I think it was it Lil Majin, the American player that was just tearing it up with King? Yes, it was, because man, he was bringing the fire. We were screaming because it was so. Anytime the crowd gets into the game and they're like they would do he would do like the ground pound from the air, and people are like, ah, boom! I just loved it. Everybody's getting into it, which is why the next top 8 with after Tekken, that was, bloody hell, what is that game? Dragon Ball FighterZ. So when the character animations would happen, like they're doing the spirit bomb, everybody's raised their hands, or when Cell powers up, everybody's like, ah! I had to get into it too. It was just cool because they'd be putting up all their hands with the signals and stuff, and it was neat to see everything. It was very, Dragon Ball FighterZ was definitely the most fun one to be a part of, I'd say. But I still think Super Smash is the most hype. I would say they were just all so good, man. Top 8, it's top 8. But being in a stadium with it shaking and just all the lights and everything. I mean, it was so packed. It was humongous, the stadium. I was so glad that I did it. Well, all it hurts, but so glad I did it. So finally, the Street Fighter 5. So I was dying at this point. My buddy had to leave, Feeney, to go catch his plane. So that's scary. But I was having a hard time staying awake because I'd been up since 8 a.m. So I was just training in the morning when nothing was really going on, right? I don't know. I tried to go to sleep. It just didn't work. So it was like a zombie a little bit, trying to fight through it. But I mean, Tokido, man, that guy, he can play. But Problem X took it. I mean, it was just a really, really epic top 8. I learned a lot of stuff about Street Fighter watching them play. But just being there and seeing it, seeing how the players all react and things like that. Seeing how I was very impressed with like the people with the mics. Someone had fallen off the stage on one of the top 8s, and they were keeping the crowd calm, even though they knew stuff was going on. They were still trying to keep with the presentation, which I thought was very surprising, because normally you would think they would have done something, but I understood why. So, all in all, it was definitely really, really fun. Super, super tired at the end. I saw a lot of people there. I recognized a lot of people. Apparently Street Fighter has a ton of like Japanese celebrities and stuff that I had no idea. People would freak out, and their friends would help them talk them into, or talk to high up players to get photos, and there were interviews all over the place, and you know, oh man, it was crazy. Sonic Fox and Goichi and Hitani, and I saw like Knuckle Dew in line and right in front of me when I was going to try to get a salad from the bar, which by the way they didn't have. I was trying to eat kind of healthy. It wasn't really working out. I only got salad one day, but regardless, the whole thing, it was just nuts, man. I hope to bring the casual stations. Next time I hope I don't go by myself too. Maybe I'll be a little more known by then, because I'm way more hungry. Being on that stage, watching those top 8 people, I want to be that. I really want to bring that drive. It fed everything I needed. Boy, my fire's burning. I want to play every single day now. It's unbelievable. Tekken and Guilty Gear, I'm not going to be playing hardcore, but I do want to get into it again. So I'll be playing that really, really casually. And then I'll still be playing Street Fighter, which by the way, today I was on fire. I don't know, I'm starting to figure stuff out. Things are starting to come together. I'm piecing them. And Justice, I was playing all different kinds of characters. I was really, really getting into it. I'm super, super stoked about that. I see things on a different scale because I feel like I need to. Like I need to evolve. I hate being that person that just doesn't get anywhere. I know I don't have as much time as other players to put into the game, but what I put into the game, how I put it into the game, I can still make it work. I want to prove that. I want to be able to do those kinds of things with that much smaller limited amount of time. Be able to get top 8. Be able to just really fight people and just evolve my game in general. Because let's be honest, man. I'll go through weird phases where like it's almost like I'm just playing the same crappy game over and over, and I expect to do something different, use the same reads over and over and everything. We got to stop that. We got to get better. So hopefully these different kinds of games will give me different exposure for mindsets, as well as just going in. I am looking in tournaments like crazy. I don't know if I can get to SCR September 14th. We're going to see. We're going to see. But either way, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this. Do you have any questions about anything maybe I didn't speak about at EVO? I didn't want to really bother any of the high level players. And I also I'm not a fond of hero worship per se, because I have this weird mentality that they're my enemies. And I know, like, it's not a real thing, but it's almost like I have to beat them to befriend them. Does that make sense? Like, it's really weird how, but it's in my head, like, to gain their respect, I have to crush them so that they'll go, who are you? It's weird like that. I don't know why my mind is always like that, but I'm always on some kind of grind, always super competitive. We'll see how things continue as they evolve. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this little recap of anything. Like I said, if you have any questions, anything I didn't speak about, please, in the comments below, ask, or if you want to give shout outs and stuff. I've met so many cool people. I don't want to say everybody was weirded out, but dude, it was a little disheartening because I was trying to be super social, and there were a lot of times where it just wasn't going to happen, and then there were times where I didn't at all, and I shouldn't have let that stop me. So we'll see. Every time's a learning experience, right? I got to really absorb, feel how the tournaments go, kind of get myself back into competition, which was the major goal. Playing 3 games is the best my mind's ever done, hands down. I am telling you, the last time that I was playing like Virtua Fighter at the time, and DOA, man, I can play DOA anytime, but I was getting ready for Virtua Fighter tournament, and I was studying hard. It was one of those weeklies, really trying to beat LA here at the time, and because I was making second semi-consistently in there, and then I couldn't beat him. I could not beat him. I don't think I ever did, to be honest with you. I'll have to watch some of that old footage from Wednesday Night Fights in Cali, but I played 1 game of DOA in 5, and I got bodied by this guy with my chin. I'm like, it's like I couldn't play mentally. So super stoked at all of the new pillars in my mind that I have stepped forward onto. I'm hoping to a bright future with all of you. Hopefully I'll get to meet some of you guys in these upcoming events, man. I'll definitely be posting each one I go to, so please, 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 mad shout outs, stay frosty my friends, and I will catch you next time. Peace.